and learn what you have learned.
Use the Force, Luke.
I want to learn the ways of the Force and become a Jedi like my father.
How rude! Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Bulky religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side, kid.
So one day you're still alive.
Don't give in to hate. That leads to the dark side.
Take notes, we're in fucking class.
Yo, you guys heard the new scoop on the new leaks and shit, dude? This shit's getting crazy.
We're not mentioning any leaks.
I didn't hear a thing
at all.
Shit's crazy, bro.
I did not watch any videos. Even Josh, every video he goes, I'm about to mention some leaks, I turn it right off. Boom, done. I'm gonna mention something about your boy Boyega. He just went off on the Last Jedi, and you'll be happy. So,
bro, I haven't been too up to date on fucking shit. But anyways, yeah, man, I'll play along. I'll follow your lead and shit.
Gotcha. Hold on. So this is what I got. We have Richard E. Grant's Twitter reaction to watching episode 9. Ahmed Best hosting the new show. Some of the article clips where I sent you. I don't know if you guys remember what I sent you. The Boeing making real X-Wings that flew over the park at Star Wars, the Star Wars park. Some kind of LGBTQ HBO representation on episode 9. Episode 9.
Fucking gay.
Episode 9 should show new force powers. They did a press conference and they mentioned Carrie Fisher. And as soon as they said lighting, the lights went out. And it was really weird and eerie. And then JJ was like, "Hi, Carrie. I know you're here." So it was really weird.
Lights out match, yeah.
And then the New York City pop-up event. That's all I got.
Oh, that's fine.
So let's bang it out. Ready?
Yeah.
And then we'll go through who's more over. Doc, do you have the ability to read all the polls and everything?
Yeah, I can get it from my phone.
And the comments and all that stuff?
Yep.
All right, cool. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, let's go do this.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, Jedi, Sith, Mandalorians, Womp Rats, whatever, and everything in between to another exciting rendition of the new Force Order
for Life
podcast, a Star Wars podcast by us, 3 of the sexiest, smartest, most thirstiest Star Wars fans for you, aka the fans. So I am 1/3 of the NFO. I am a multi-time champion of the galaxy in a pro wrestling setting because I always do the job to the wife. I am the Greek god Papadon, aka GGP, and alongside with me, I have a sexy, pretty, thunder-stealing, toy-collecting, beer-drinking, tie-wearing medical droid, and a sinister, malicious, vindictive, yet very charismatic in his very low voice. Sith. Boy, smarten up the marks.
I am the Dark Lord of the podcast, the Sith Army, the Rampaging Reverend Kiss, the Butcher, your boy Spiro, aka Darth Spirit.
And I am smarter than 21B, more technical than FX7, the god of steel and thunder, and the man who doesn't believe stuffing your best friend in a fucking tauntaun will cure hypothermia. Dr. Destroyo, Alex Arroyo, coming to you from a holiday party in a galaxy far, far away, half hammered and about to get the fuck out of here for our podcast tonight.
Yeah.
How many parsecs will it take you to get home?
Like 15.
You need some help there, kid. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition. We are going to talk about Star Wars, everything in a galaxy far, far away. Guess what? We're 9 days away from episode 9. The NFO is going to make a lasting impression that night. We're going to watch the film together. We're going to party together. We're going to paint the town red. And we're going to do a nice little review show right afterwards, letting all you people know what we think of the show. So, with that being said, more TV spots have dropped, more commercials here and there. I'm avoiding them like the plague, or like most Comic-Con participants, some soap and water. That's what they avoid. But, some news has dropped. We had a cast member who's playing General Pride in episode 9, General of the First Order. His name is Richard E. Grant. Now, if you follow him on Twitter, you know how delightful and lovely his tweets are. They're from the heart. He usually tweets out the funniest things, and he's smiling from ear to ear, and he's just having a grand old time. He saw a screening for the cast, came on Twitter, and gave his reaction, and it was one of the most authentic, realist. He almost was tearing, saying that this episode 9, the Return of the Rise of Skywalker, it is one of the greatest movies he's ever been a part of, and he's one of the greatest Star Wars movies of all time. And he's happy and honored to be part of the whole cast and the movie itself. It took me back. It gave me chills, and it gave me hope.
Listen, I'm really getting a good feeling about all this right now. If people who are intently involved with the movie are feeling like that, and if some of the stuff that we're hearing about stuff melting your mind at the end is true, I'm getting really excited for the next 9 days.
Well, I'm going to keep it real.
He's like,
I'm excited for the movie, guys. I really am. I can't wait to go see this. But I'm not going to buy into anything anybody says. And, without spoiling anything, without mentioning anything specific, more news regarding leaks has come out. I don't know who to believe anymore. Honestly, I don't care anymore. At this point, I'm just going to go in. I'm going to remain optimistic. But at the end of the night, when we do our after movie review show, you will get my actual, real, honest to earth, honest to TaTOYine reaction.
Speaking of Tatooine, we made a little return to that planet at the last episode of Mandalorian. Now, all you fans out there, all 3 of you guys of the NFO, you guys are saying, hey, where was the last episode of Mandomania? Well, we're going to be straight honest with you guys. We always will be. Our schedules could not allow us to get together in order to get the show done. I was wrestling in Virginia, stealing the show. Spiro was swamped taking pictures for families for Christmas and the holiday season. Doc was delivering younglings and doing open heart surgery and teaching classes to all the 12-1B droids. But we tried to get together. I dropped the ball one night and I passed out. So it's on me. But we're going to make it up to you folks. The next Mandomania, which will drop at the end of the week, will have 2 episodes. Episode 5, which was called The Gunslinger, and episode 6, which is going to drop in a couple of days. So we're going to give you double the action, double the fun, double the penetration. Ooh, yeah, brother.
It's gonna be a double shot like we did to your mother.
And no Vaseline.
Not your mother. It's all good, brother.
It's like watching donkey punches included. But regardless of all that, folks, sorry about not dropping the episode. I know a couple people were hitting us up.
Yeah.
Yo, where's the episode? I need the Mandomania review. You'll get it in due time. Patience. You need to have patience. Control. You must have control. Anyhow, other news came out, and I thought this was probably one of the coolest shit I've ever seen. I know for a fact when I was young, Guys, don't ever let Doc drink and fly, please. But I know when I was young, I always wanted to get behind the wing of the wheel or the steering wheel of an X-wing or the Millennium Falcon. I know Spiro wanted to get probably in front in a TIE fighter and blow up some rebel scum. Doc, I think you wanted to bang everyone's girlfriend while they were out doing all the fighting, whatever the case may be. But Boeing designed actual X-wing planes, which were controlled by what are those things called?
Drones?
Drones, yes, controlled by drones. But these things were the size of buses. They were like legit huge, or minivans, if you will, not buses. Maybe the size of minivans, Honda Odyssey or whatever you want to call it. But they actually flew over Star Wars in the debut of the new Sith ride that just debuted in Star Wars, and they showed clips online. And all I can say is, God damn, I love Star Wars. You guys seen it?
No.
What about you, Doc?
I didn't see it yet. No, I'm at the party. Like I said, hold on.
Well,
Hey,
ladies and gentlemen,
I got a question about that. Is there any anything in that article or something on how much one of those things cost to make?
no, I don't think they're for sale for the
Curious.
public. But I think if they were, there'd be some. I mean, yo, look. To be honest with you, some dude just designed a land speeder.
I saw that one.
We
Yeah.
saw that video, and he's actually, I think, selling it on eBay. And
Really?
shout out, there was a dude. What was his name? He's an artist. He's in France. The guy's name is Cyril Auclair, and he designed steampunk busts of Star Wars characters. Remember the stuff I sent you today?
Yes. Yes.
I spoke to him today. He wants to come on the show, but his English is not very well, and he
That's
doesn't
right.
speak good English. So I told him we'll
Neither
try
is
to figure. Well, he's in France, so maybe we'll get a baguette and a cigarette. So there'll be two fags on the show, Doc and the cigarette. But regardless of that, he might be coming on soon. Spoke to another individual who's going to be coming on the show. Two people. One of the artists we met at Comic-Con. He's down to come on after the holidays, and someone who works in the film industry, doing like review shows like Collider and all that stuff. Her name is Valerie Cameron. Spoke to her today. She's down to come on after episode 9 and talk some shop with the NFO. So stay in touch, folks. We always deliver to you guys, the fans. We dropped the ball. We missed an episode. We're making up to you guys in the holidays, giving you gifts galore. We're not going to give you any toys because then Doc will show up at your house and steal them. So that's, something that we're not going to do. We're going to give you presents I keep on giving. Doc's going in his wallet.
What the fuck's he doing?
He's tipping the bartender because he's getting free
Look at
drinks.
his wallet, man.
Look at that wallet.
Look at that.
What a mark.
Look
What a
at this
mark.
fucking guy.
Anyhow, listen, we touched base on this last show. Jedi Temple.
I'm tipping the goat check guy.
The Jedi Temple Challenge is a new game show for kids that's going to be on the Disney Plus streaming service in 2020. They announced that Ahmed Best, the actor who played Jar Jar Binks, will be hosting the show, but not as Jar Jar, as a Jedi.
Thank God.
So good for him, man. I mean, the guy himself was going through some hard times, getting death threats. He was on the verge of suicide at one point because he couldn't take the negativity. Speaking to people who received death threats, rest in peace, Bill Buckner from the Boston Red Sox, who infamously ball went through his legs. Yeah, he died this week.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the ball went through his legs, and the Mets won the World Series. So, hey, there goes the Booker. The Jew Booker. The one who's giving the mazel tov to everybody. Anyhow, I wonder if the Doc heard that. Anyhow.
Fucking Doc.
She's the judoka.
Strolling through the hallways like Ric Flair there, bro. Look at him.
Woo!
A lot of press has been going on. Obviously, they're doing the rounds to promote the film with only 9 days left. They did a big press conference with all the stars, and they were asking questions and giving their point of views of the characters and this and that. The normal stuff they do at the junctures. But one thing came about. they started mentioning carrying. J.J. Abrams started talking about Carrie Fisher and about how she's incorporated in the movie, and how she impacted the cast, and how they implemented the unseen footage from Seven into the film, and it's how they wrote the scenes around the footage, and they said that everything feels like she was there, the scenery, the lighting, and as soon as they said lighting, the lights went off, and everyone just froze. And then JJ started selling it like, "Oh, this is weird. This is something Carrie would do." And he started going, "Hi, Carrie. I know you're here." So it was pretty cool. But another. Did you hear the issue about how Carrie says she worked with JJ twice in a book she wrote?
No.
Before she died, she wrote with him. She worked with him twice, but he only worked with her once. Technically, he worked with her twice now because she's gone, and the unused footage was used in episode 9. So it's been very cryptic and morbid how she predicted that she worked with him twice. A little conspiracy, but it could be maybe she was just high off something or drunk and didn't realize. Who knows? Or just made a mistake. Not to talk ill about the dead. It is Princess Leia after all.
Wait. Are we doing this podcast in the car?
We are doing the podcast in the car, baby.
Only on the NFO.
Right now,
So, I mean, in reality, listen, I love Carrie Fisher. She 100%, but she was a little fucking stoned out here and there. Whatever, but it's fine.
but it's fine.
JJ says that she said in the book that he worked with her twice. He's assuming that it's because of the fact that it was the first movie and then the second movie. Okay, who the fuck knows? I don't know. Makes sense. I think she's talking to us from the whole thing during the gimmick. For sure, it's her reaching out to us and talking to us from the great beyond. I'm a believer in the great beyond, and if anybody's gonna reach past us, it's gonna be Carrie. So I'll take it.
Hey man, we've had similar shit go down with people like fucking Tupac and other artists, whether actors, singers, or whatever. They put in their music, or they wrote a book, or they made a movie, which then sort of came to happen in real life.
Wait a minute, Doc. If you're gonna be in the car when we're talking, you got to put mute because we're getting feedback.
Okay.
When you want to talk, point to the screen or something, and then we'll stop talking and you can respond. What were you saying, Spiro?
And we also have a nice view of Doc's balls there, but
yeah.
It's
Good thing it's a microscopic lens, huh?
Modern day technology, baby.
That's great.
But you know what, man? Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, man. It's not the first time where an artist of whatever art form has done something either in music or in painting or in writing about something that came to pass after their own passing. I mean, that's cool. I'm glad that as a fan, I got this moment from her. This sort of what do you call it? Posthumous or
yeah?
How do you say that shit?
Posthumous.
Yeah, hummus. Yeah,
Posthumously.
Posthumously. Did I say it right?
Yes, you did.
All right. But anyways, going back to the whole thing about fucking JJ and the lights going off, man. That's whatever, man. It's been done in fucking wrestling. It's been done.
Yeah, but time out. That's a work. That's a work.
And is this, man.
No, you think they really turned off lights on purpose? As soon as he says
Carrie, oh shit, oh my god, the fucking the lights went out. I don't know. Hey man, I'm not saying that I don't believe in fucking spirits and ghosts doing shit like that, but that's just fucking weird. It's kind of funny. That's all.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying that it can't happen, and I'm not saying that.
I don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no crystal ball. Sorry.
Must have been a great party, man.
Either that or he had a sip of the freaking Shirley Temple again, and then you know, yeah. So episode 9, there's rumors there are going to be new force powers going to be displayed. You guys heard anything about this?
I heard something about new force powers. What they are, I'm not sure.
Do you want to take a gander?
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, we've been surprised the last couple of movies about new Force stuff, so it could be fucking anything. So I'm excited to see what it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be, but...
Are you running for Senate? Are you running for governor or mayor in New York? Because you're answering like a politician. I want an answer, God damn it. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth, Doc.
You cannot handle the truth. No. I don't know. I mean, what could they do at this point? We've seen a numerous amount of force powers right now between the last, 8 movies. Where can they go from now? I don't know. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Force.
Maybe they'll do force.
Telepathy, force.
Force blowjobs.
I don't know whatever the fuck it's going to be. Well, I'm hoping it's going to make sense and actually be good.
Thank you for your insight, Doc. That was very informative. Rebellions were built on hope, so I'm glad to see you're keeping yourself optimistic.
Hope and empanadas.
Hope and empanadas.
Speaking of empanadas, the Doghouse used to have the best empanadas for $1, all greasy and meaty and cheesy. Oh, it was a heart attack. It was delicious. Some lady used to come from up the block. She used to make them in our kitchen, bring it in the cooler, and then sell them at the shows. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm psyched, dude. Every movie we get new force powers. I hope the new force power that they administer is some kind of force power from Luke, where he didn't die. He just banished to another dimension, or banished, or teleported, or what, you know what I mean? He actually left himself. I don't know. But I want to see him come back to life, so, and not die. But that's
personally, I hope that the new force power we see in this new movie is force retcon, and they retcon the Last Jedi to I don't know what the fuck, to a bad dream and shit,
Well, listen, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I mean, now supposedly there's going to be LGBTQ representation in this movie. I don't know if it's a character or some side characters, whatever. It's pretty cool if there is, but at the same time, I don't want it to feel forced like everything else on TV now. That needs your token a homosexual character or lesbian character. Make it organic, make it natural. You know what I mean? The more natural and organic it'll be, I think the better it'll be overall representing certain individuals in this world. Whether you believe in it or not, whether you agree with it or not, doesn't matter. It's an art form, it's media, it's a movie, and it is what it is. So we'll see what happens. I mean, you hear anything about this?
I read that article, and you know what, man?
Wasn't the ad?
No, yeah. Listen, man. No matter.
I popped for the lesbian ad, by the way.
No matter what anybody's ideals are or feelings or whatever, it is what it is. It's 2019. It's about to be 2020, and this is just there should be some form of representation of everybody, of everything. The problem is that it's almost 2020 and people are still acting like two fucking men making out or two fucking chicks scissoring is like something, that's, fucking new and shit. It's like these people are fucking going out of their way to make themselves feel better about themselves. Dude, just do it. You want a character in there that likes to fucking, be gay? Fine. Dude, that's life, man. That's just, don't come and be like, hey, I'm also gonna be doing this in this film. Like you're breaking new fucking ground. Give me a fucking break, bro. It's like these people, they're looking for fucking a fucking somebody to be like, yay, cop fucking hands and shit. You know, come on, bro.
They want the appreciation. They want what they're seeking the attention. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. They're fishing. They're attention fishing. But I agree with you, brother. I'll tell you somebody who isn't attention fishing, and I'm not just doing this as a cool segue. John Boyega, he's on fire. El Fuego. He's basically telling people, I ain't doing it Disney. You ain't Disney Plus and me. I stay to the feature films. And he said he's not going to hop on Disney Plus, and most likely this is going to be the end of him in Star Wars. And then he recently, this came out, this article came out about 10 minutes ago. I see over here on IndieWire that he says that he gets honest about Star Wars flaws, disagreeing with the Last Jedi choices. So this is right up Spiro's alley. John Boyega has not hid the fact that he's excited for his Star Wars character Finn to step into a more action-driven role in the upcoming Rise of Skywalker. The actor believes Finn got somewhat sidelined from the main action in The Last Jedi, and he makes his thoughts on the matter clear in an honest interview with Hypebeast. Boyega indirectly blames The Last Jedi for throwing off the positive momentum started by The Force Awakens by separating the main characters played by Daisy Ridley and Oscar Isaac and himself. The Force Awakens, I think, was the beginning of something quite solid. The Last Jedi, if I'm being honest, I'd say that was feeling a bit iffy for me, Boyega said. I didn't necessarily agree with a lot of the choices in that, and that's something that I spoke to Mark Hamill a lot about, and we had conversations about it. And it was hard for us because we were separated. So then he goes, for Boyega, separating the main characters in The Last Jedi was a critical flaw that reduced the power of the new Star Wars trilogy when compared to the 3 original films. The actor says that while Luke was the main character in the first 3 Star Wars movies, the films never underdeveloped Han or Leia and ensured they were as important as the main narrative.
True.
Yeah, he's very true about that. The dynamic among those 3 characters is not the same as the dynamic between Finn, Poe, and Rey, at least not yet. I guess in the original Star Wars films, there was much more of a trio feel, where it was essentially about Luke's journey. But Han and Leia, there was a strong dynamic, Boyega said, which I don't know how quickly we're going to be able to establish that long-term dynamic with Episode 9, but if it's exploring that dynamic, then that will be cool. I do feel that even after 3 films still, we do not know them as much as we got to know Han, Luke, and Leia. Maybe that's a great opportunity to get to know them a little bit more. Whether or not Star Wars can fix Boyega's biggest quibble with a new trilogy in The Rise of Skywalker, we revealed later this month. Disney's opening The Rise of Skywalker December 20th. Yo, this guy is playing the game. He's playing the game for more money. And kudos to him. Kudos to him. Because you know what? He does have a valid point. The characters were not made as important. And I know you said this a million times, Spiro. But the one thing I got to say, you can't make the characters be that important because the movie literally takes place 5 minutes after the last movie takes off. So it's just continuation of the same movie. So it's not like they had time to grow. Like Episode 4 and 5, you see Han, he comes back, he saves Luke. They start off in Han, and he's already a high-ranking officer in the Rebel Alliance, right?
Right, of course.
Have to save Luke to continue.
Yeah.
So it just, you can't compare the 2 films because it's 2 different. But at the same time, I do agree with them that certain characters did take a back seat as opposed to continuing their conquest, but it's also having different writers on the films. If JJ stayed on all 3 films, I think Episode 8 would have been different if he would have stayed on it and what's his name directed it, Rian Johnson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
of course.
I mean, we said it earlier. It is what it is. Well, what are you gonna do?
Man.
This guy's smart. He's playing the game, and he's using all the tactics to get a bigger, fatter paycheck for the next movie. If he's still alive at the end of 9.
Jesus.
So,
I don't see him dying. But yeah, listen, man, like you said, at this point it is what it is. I agree with him. At the same time, I don't mind that they were separated. You can separate them as long as their parts in the story actually, you know, build. You know what I'm saying? You know, just you can separate them, but fucking make it meaningful. Make each individual's uh journey fucking worth something. You know, at the same time, I also agree with you. There wasn't much room for a growth from the first film to the second film. My only thing is that they didn't really do much growing during that second film either. I mean, you know, there was nothing in there that really catapulted or grew these guys. You know.
Well, I have to
Um,
disagree with you on that. I think they did grow as characters. I think Rey became a better Jedi. She learned whatever she learned from Luke. She was able to again fight alongside Ren and try to. She failed, so she learned from her failure. Finn failed with what's her name, Rose Tico. Learned from her failure, from his failures, where it taught him to stop running and for him to stand his ground. That's why when he killed Phasma, he told her rebel scum because he solidified the fact that he's part of the rebellion now. And I think Poe grew when he was hotshot flyboy in 7 and then in beginning of 8 where it cost people their lives, then commit mutiny or trying to take over the ship, but then realizing that he could be the leader when he goes follow me, and everyone looked to Leia and Leia's like, why are you looking at me for? You heard what he said. So he kind of, in my opinion, transcended and realized that it isn't about him, it's about the greater picture, because he realized Luke was trying to sacrifice himself at the end.
okay,
So,
so I'm gonna agree
but
with you
hold on
about
one
Poe.
second. Okay, let me say one thing about Poe. I'm reading the book. I don't have it right here. It's upstairs. The Resistance Reborn book that takes place right after Episode 8. Great book so far. Fucking fantastic. I wish I had time to finish it all the way through. I'll try to finish it as soon as I can. But the whole scenario in Episode 8, it's sitting very heavy on his conscience in the book, and it's bothering him. Look at that pretty face. If she was the host of the show, forget about it. We'd have 1 million views. Instead, we have Doc's ugly face. See, look at
There,
this.
there
Oh,
he is.
face for radio.
Faithful radio, yeah.
Look at my ball.
Yes, that's a doctor, folks.
Listen,
Yells-
I think Papadon just, actually succinctly summarized what happened in The Last Jedi. It was a movie about failure, and we took those characters that we saw in The Force Awakens, and we brought them to the same point that Luke, Leia, and Han came to in Empire Strikes Back, where they were advanced, yet they failed in the mission that they had to do. All of them, and Toto. And it's a perfect analogy. Again, Star Wars is cyclical, where they did advance, they did grow as characters, and they did fail in whatever mission that was ahead of them, which is going to make them learn for the next film that we have coming up in 9 days.
All right, so like I said, I'm gonna agree with all the failing. I'm gonna agree about Poe. If anything, if anybody grew in that film, and again, you know what, man, I feel like, when you read the book, you do kind of get more about what's going on. But that said, I'm just not happy with where we left off with the Ray. I'm not happy with how they did Finn. If anything, I feel like, yeah, at the start of the film, Finn was fucking trying to run away. But even before the fucking end, a little bit before the end, Finn, he was about to go do his whole suicide kamikaze run. And I don't want to get back into how I feel about how this whole scene played out, because I fucking thought it was stupid. I thought that most of the film was fucking stupid. But fuck it, man. Episode 9 is coming out in a few days, and we'll see, man.
You know what else is coming out in a couple of days? The Mandalorian episode, chapter 6, and just came out that the majority of the time, Pedro Pascal, I would say maybe about 90, maybe 95% of the time, Pedro Pascal is not in the suit. He just does the voiceover. You know who's in the suit? John Wayne's grandson. I shit you not. The cowboy's grandson is the cowboy Mandalorian on the Cowboy Star Wars show. How fucking cool is that?
That's pretty fucking amazing, just to let you know.
No, okay, but guess what now? All the SJWs are going to start writing into fucking Disney that how dare you put the grandson of a quote-unquote racist in this fucking role, and, watch.
That's where they get a whole can of shut up.
I'm about to go brew a nice pot of shut the fuck up, man. Whoever wants some, let me know, man.
That goes good with your bologna sandwich, huh?
Yeah, sure, yeah, man, it sure does.
Oh God. Like I said, folks, the main mission of this podcast, of this show, The New Force Order, is not for us to get over on Star Wars, to make a name for ourselves off of a brand that we love. We're not looking to make financial gains off of the brand that we love. We're not looking to get the rub, which is, these are all wrestling terms, off of Star Wars. What we're looking to do is we're looking to get Star Wars more over with you, because you already love Star Wars. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to this podcast. But we're looking to explain to you that everyone's opinion in this fandom about the Star Wars universe or galaxy or lore does matter, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And just because you don't agree with my opinion, I don't agree with your opinion, doesn't mean we can't be friends. Doesn't mean we can't share some green milk or blue milk together at a cantina. Doesn't mean that we can't cut open what do you call it? A tauntaun to save each other's lives and shove us in the guts to keep us warm and hot. At the end of the day, listen, we're all fans, and all we're here at the NFL trying to do is continue the greatness of Star Wars and remind everybody why we're here and why it all brought us back together. And that's it. We're not looking to get over on Star Wars. We're looking to get Star Wars more over. And speaking of over, we do a segment called Who's More Over. Now, you might ask yourself, what does over mean? I don't understand what this Greek guy's talking about. He must be crazy or drunk. No. See, I am a professional wrestler on top of being a Star Wars fanboy. The term over, the terminology in professional wrestling means that you're popular with the fans. Now, you have two scopes. You are either a babyface or a heel. A babyface is the good guy. A heel is the villain. And when you're over as a babyface, people love you, and they'll pay an exuberant amount of money and Imperial credits to come see you fight. If you're the heel, like I am, the greatest heel in wrestling today, that's not on a national level or a signed national level, let's say, on a TV level, people pay exuberant amount of money to come see you get your butt kicked by the babyface. So, what do? We don't compare and grab two characters and make believe they wrestle each other in a wrestling ring. No. What we do is we compare two aspects of Star Wars, whether it's person, place, or thing. Doesn't matter. We compare them and we say, who's more over with you, the fans? But most importantly, who's more over with us? So this week we have a very, very, very interesting battle, comparison, if you will, between two objects in Star Wars. Now, I say objects because we're not talking about the people. We're talking about the actual object. Now, I don't care if it's brought to us by the Doc or the Sith Lord, but smarten up the marks of what hell I'm going on about.
I had an epiphany this week about who we're going to do for Who's More Over. I don't know where it came from, how it came from, but I said, you know what? Let's do iconic masks. Let's look at Darth Vader's mask versus Boba Fett's mask and see who is actually more over.
In my opinion, this is probably one of the toughest battles to pick because the two contestants are two of the coolest masks ever created in any cinematic scope, not only just Star Wars. So with that being said, I mean, I'm going to throw the ball to you, Spiro. Oh, you know what? Let's save our comments for last. I'm going to go straight to the email first, and then we'll go to the comments and we'll go to the polls, and we'll leave our comments for last. This way we finish strong, and the fans will hold on for more. Let's see. Our first email comes from friend of the show, Tim Gilby. What's up, Timmy boy?
Shout out
Hey,
to Tim.
Hey, NFO guys. This week, I'm picking the most over mask of all time. Vader's mask is over on all masks from any show, anytime. Not just the Star Wars universe. Even people who never seen the single episode of Star Wars know what that mask is and what it represents. Thanks, guys. May the Schwartz be with you. Total 17. Our next email comes from Hans. Everyone has a fet-ish, a fetish. Witty guy, this Hans, I'm telling you. Oh, this guy wrote another encyclopedia. Let's see. Doc, Pop, and the Butcher. What up, fellas? I know Vader's probably going to win. That being said, Akutamundo, Bobo's Legends book, and comics are just too sweet. Clones and Mandos is the Star Wars content I'm here for. I do not want to hear the argument. He went out like a bitch. Totally a 1 in a million chance. Of all the changes the notorious George Lucas has made, I bet he would change that. Boba is even a salve in just the new canon. Sneaks onto a Republic cruiser in the Clone Wars, tries to get revenge on Mace Windu, almost gets it done, and still dips out via escape pod. Boba's running a crew with Bosk, Assad's Ventress, and Aurora Singh. Hella young. Darth Vader, what is he without his Force skill? A wily slave, or whiny, maybe he meant to put a whiny slave who does not like sand. All the humans, all the honeys are at the beach. You learn to like sand. Massacred those third world sand people, snitched on the Jedi, and butchered a bunch of younglings. Gets chopped up by Obi-Wan as he burns his nubs in the flames of Mustafar. Fuck Darth Vader. My first favorite Star Wars guy, Boba fucking Fett. Well, I guess he's picking Boba Fett. I guess that's what you like.
Sure sounds like it, yeah.
Doc, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, let's read those comments. Let's read the polls, baby.
All right, so we're going to the polls. So we got some comments from Ralph Page III. This is going to suck to choose this one. And you replied, yup. Someone said, Sean Bodner, no love for the Stormtrooper? That's actually a very good mask as well from the trilogy. I don't blame them for actually wanting that in the mix of this, but was not in this one. So let's look at, hold on, getting back to Facebook here. Let's look at the comments for the poll. And then kind of no surprise, the Vader mask is over extremely strong, to the tune of 83 to 17% over Boba Fett's mask. That's a lot. Now, I thought it would be a little closer than that, but it really was not.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty surprised. We got comments from John Enright. Nothing more iconic than Vader's mask. More T-shirts and stickers with that mask than any other. Chuchi Figueroa from the Bronx. Gotta go with Darth Vader's mask. He was Sith, one of the last Sith. Ralph Page III. This is tough. Vader is iconic with his look. The Mandalorian has elevated Boba's mask even more, but I have to go for the OG of Star Wars mask, which is Vader. Dusty Mulholland. No one is more badass than Vader. Vader over strong. Gustavon Ponce. Tough one, because both masks are way over. But in my view, Vader wins because the mask is so unique. Nothing else is like it. Fett's mask is a great design, but inspired by the Spartan helmets. But since there are variations like the ones featured in The Mandalorian, the gimmick loses a little something. Vader over strong in the end. And that's our comments. Again, Vader over 83% to 17% over Boba.
All right, listen, I skipped an email. I feel real guilty. Let me just catch up real
Go
quick.
back, Dan.
We have an email from bassmasterdust@aol.com. All right. And it's titled Such Good Shit. I love how all our fan base are very censored. But so is this show, which is great. Dear New Force Order, I'm loving the 2 shows a week with Mandomania being added to the lineup. Such good shit. You guys have brought this love for Star Wars back into my life. And for that, I thank you. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about Star Wars history through the books and comics while doing my Stevie Richards fitness. Whose channel would you recommend for the best content? The New Force Order channel, you dumb fuck. Huh? P.S. I've been trying to hype all your platforms to get a few more people to all your content. Well, thank you very much there, Dusty Boy. Hopefully it helps. Enjoy the new movie and have a Merry Christmas. NFO for life.
For
Dusty,
life.
Dusty, the BS master. Well, Dusty, a couple of people that I like to listen to is one, Collider Jedi Council with friend of the show, Ken Knapsack, good buddy of mine. I also like listening to Rule of Two, which is also on Collider, with Mark Riley and Mark Fernandez. I like listening to Star Wars Theory from time to time. I like listening to Urban Acolyte. I like his channel. He makes me laugh because he's real. He don't care. Star Wars Only. I like his channel too because he doesn't give spoilers. Our buddy Josh from the Den of Nerds has a good channel, but he does venture into spoiler country and leak country from time to time. There's another chick. Her name's Star Wars Roar. She has a good channel, but she also does the leak and gimmick and spoiler gimmick. And then there's Star Wars Explained. The Molly and the other guy, her husband, they do a Q&A, and they also go over do book reviews. And these guys are very informative, very clean, unlike our podcast, very professional, unlike our podcast. But they get the point across, and they actually explain things very thoroughly to people who want to know more of the inside track and they don't have time to read a 300-page book or whatever the case may be. So those are some of the channels that I listen to, or I go venture to when it comes to Star Wars. There's another guy.
My favorite is my personal absolute favorite is.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Like this isn't good for.
Take your pick, man. Fuck them. I'm not gonna give these motherfuckers props, bro. Nah, man. But you know what, man? I'm with you on all those. There's one guy, and I'm really hate that I can't remember right now the fucking guy's channel. The guy's great because this guy covers like every fucking thing, everything from the old Republic to shit that is canon to shit that ain't canon, anything you want, history, right? Yo, this guy covers even the fucking crystals, every color type, what the fuck they all do.
Is that Star Wars Reading Club?
No.
Thor Skywalker?
Who? Thor Skywalker? No, fuck, man. You know what?
No, because both those guys do a lot of legend stuff. I mean,
yeah.
Yo, while we're talking about your hard-on for the Knights of the Old Republic, what was that article I shared with you guys that they picked a villain for the old? It's Darth Malik.
Yeah, but is that real though?
I don't know.
Are they gonna show? Are they gonna show? You know, spoiler alert. But are they gonna show how he went from being Jedi to fucking Sith?
I don't know.
Man, I fucking hope so. I mean, I don't know. Anyway,
all right. So, Doc, what's more over for you? Which mask?
All right. So, listen, Vader is an iconic image.
All right, time out. Put a pin in that for a second. I'm sorry to cut you off. Do you guys want to say who, in our opinion, who's more overall in the lore through statistics or personal choice? Or do you want to do both? Let's do both. All right, do both. Go both.
Do both. All right. I mean, moreover in the lore, it's clearly Vader. Vader is one of the linchpins, the main focus of the story. It's the redemption of Darth Vader in the first 3 movies of the trilogy. It's the seduction of Darth Vader in the prequels of the trilogy. Vader is moreover that mask, that look is so iconic, and really cannot be duplicated, cannot be beat. But for me, I have always leaned towards the bounty hunter side. I've always leaned towards, the anti kind of hero on the cusp of being good versus being bad. And Boba's mask is one that exactly the whole kind of Stone Cold situation. And Boba's mask has been, that symbol for me, basically through all my adult life, through my teen life. That's really been it. And it's hard to, look at that mask and not think of anything above, like, holy shit, that's really fucking cool. Because that mask is really fucking cool. Vader is like the okay boomer fucking mask, but Boba is the up-and-coming millennial. This is where it's at mask. For me, 100% of the time, always the Boba mask is going to be over.
Nice.
You want me to take it next, Spiro, or you want to go?
All right, go. Yeah, we could do it.
All right. Well, I agree with Doc. The most iconic mask of all Star Wars will always be Darth Vader. He's going to be the Hogan, the Flair, the Cena, the face that runs the place when it comes to Star Wars. Not only because the whole first six movies are about him, and he's the chosen one of the prophecy. It's because the mask itself was a character on top of the character. That mask was almost like the man in the Iron Mask. You didn't see his face, and him showing his face in Episode 6 in Return of the Jedi was such a big revelation. And him being this badass, but actually being the father. I mean, there's so much development and layers with this character. Even when he goes face at the end of Return of the Jedi, spoilers alert, to where I'm thinking Return of the Jedi, mainly, even though it's an open-end double meaning, like the majority of all the Star Wars titles, is about him coming back to the light and not Luke becoming a Jedi and bringing back the Jedi Order. But personal choice, I'm going to go with Boba Fett. And the reason why is because not only is it inspired by the Spartans, which were Greeks, and thank you, you're welcome. The Greeks invented everything. It's because the guy only had, 3 minutes of screen time in 2 movies, and he just blew up because how cool he looked. Now, Vader, if Vader had only had 3 minutes of screen time in the movies, I don't think he would have blown up and become the face that runs the place. You know what I'm saying? I think I think he would have been surpassed by somebody else. Now, Vader, I mean, let's face it, he's not the coolest looking character in all of Star Wars. He's definitely up there. Definitely top 5, maybe top 3. Because I kind of look at Darth Maul, and I think Darth Maul is a lot cooler looking than Vader. Probably the most coolest looking character in all of Star Wars. But that's just me. But as far as the masks go, I'm definitely going to say on a personal choice, Boba.
Awesome, man. Listen, man, real quick, that one channel, it came back to me, is the Stupendous Wave.
Yes.
Stupendous Wave, man. That if you want to listen to somebody that goes into great detail and does it very well, Stupendous Wave. Now, I gotta tell you,
he has a high pitched voice, right?
Yeah, he's kind of like, yeah. But
he's a little free. Millennial talking. He always ends a sentence on a high note.
I like the guy.
Nothing against him. I like it.
I know.
I'm not talking bad about it. I'm just saying, we put
of course not,
people
man.
onto the channel, and he comes on, and he's talking like a 17-year-old kid who talks very high. He ends a sentence on a high note.
Is that him?
Am I wrong or no?
Maybe.
I don't know. Whatever. I may be
listen,
wrong.
Man, listen, you know what? He's not fucking Mike full of shit zero, and he's not jaded fucking Jeremy. So give the guy a fucking listen.
Definitely.
Bottom line,
What was the
but
name of the channel again?
the stupendous wave.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, man. Listen, man. I'm gonna go ahead, man, and I'm gonna agree with both of you guys, man. Listen, there's nothing more fucking iconic, whether
Oh,
it's Star
Doc, put on a
Wars.
shirt. Oh,
Look at this
blind.
for the
I'm
ladies and for the men that like that shit.
Oh, I'm so blind. My eyes are blind. Oh,
Man.
that is disgusting.
Yeah, we just saw that.
Oh,
But yeah,
Sharon.
man.
Now we know Sharon is related to Helen Keller somehow because Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah.
Oh shit, man.
Oh God! As long as he keeps his pants
Yeah.
on. It's not
That was a
type
good
of
one. That
party.
was a good one.
But yeah, man. Listen, there's nothing more iconic than Darth Vader, whether it's in Star Wars or out of Star Wars, man. Nothing is ever gonna be more over. I mean, fucking blind people recognize Darth Vader. That's just a fact. Vader is the coolest and the most what do you call it? He's just, to me, the best developed, the best written character in all of Star Wars. Um, but here is the thing, man. And again, me being a fucking vet. If there was one thing that I would see probably as much as the Punisher skull, on whether it was a morale patch, a tattoo, or somebody drawing something on some wall in some cave or in some fucking abandoned warehouse somewhere, or somewhere where we'd stomp and kick down doors. It was Boba Fett's mask, that Mando mask, the fucking helmet. Aside from the Mando crest, the Merc crest, that fucking helmet is, with me on a personal level, is over like Rover, and it's just fucking right here, right now, more over than Darth Vader's helmet.
Well, there you have it, folks. You have three smart guys who said the same thing, which means we're right, you're wrong. No, seriously. And that's the bottom line because the NFO said so. Well, listen, what was pretty over? We'll touch base on it more on Mando Mania this week. But in episode chapter 5 of Mando Mania, the Gunslinger, there was a lot of throwbacks. A lot of people are talking about fan service and how much it was too much fan service, which is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. But there was an actor who played one of the what are they called? Sand guys. Shit.
Tusken Raiders.
Yes, the Tusken Raiders. He played one of those two Tusken Raiders, and he's actually deaf. And he used American Sign Language, and they used that where the Mandalorian communicated with them, and they bartered passage across their land, as opposed to just trying their luck and not getting shot by the Tusken Raiders. So this was the first deaf actor to ever debut in a Star Wars film or show. So I thought that was pretty cool. So that's pretty over with me.
Can I just say, can I give my fucking 2 cents about that? That is awesome. That is awesome. But, the way people fucking made it out was like, if this was the first deaf person to ever make a fucking movie, ever be on a fucking show, hey, there's this deaf chick by the name Madeline Storm.
What?
Exactly.
Shit. I thought I had you.
But no, man, listen, man, you know what? I'm not gonna go rain on the guy's fucking parade, man. It's awesome, man. And I like the way they actually did that instead of the seal sounds and shit.
No.
Yeah. I mean, Tusken Raiders kind of do sound like fucking deaf people,
Yeah, deaf seals.
Oh,
Listen
And
up.
this show just got banned for fucking.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, it's not like they can hear us. Anyhow.
One of our three fans might actually go and fucking complain, bro. You know.
Oh, well, tough shit.
You never know.
News came out, and I hope the three of us definitely go. Maybe we could go this weekend if everyone's if everybody's schedule permits it. But I want to go to this New York City Star Wars pop-up event that they're having. They're having it down. I forgot where. Do you guys have the article that we sent to the thing, to the message, to the discussion board?
It's in Soho, apparently.
Okay, it's in Soho. I know it's from 1 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And it's supposed to be until what, January 5th? If I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
And they're going to have just a pop-up event. I don't think it costs anything. I think it's free for the people, if I'm not mistaken. And I want to go check it out. Maybe do a live broadcast from there. We'll do a nice little video like we did from Comic-Con. Yeah. Hopefully we can do it this weekend. But if you're out there, look it up, Google it, and you know, if you can make it, make it. Because there's only one thing better than Star Wars.
And that's more fucking Star Wars.
Also
and
this
what's
week.
Better than that?
Blowjob?
That's fucking Doc in his short shorts back on the show, about to do TaTOYine.
Oh my God. I thought I was blind before. Jesus Christ.
White ass legs, baby.
Before we get into TaTOYine, the Kylo Ren comic's coming out soon. And it's going to go deep into supposedly his origin or how he turned. So I'm looking forward to that. It's done by Charles Soule, Marvel Comics. But speaking of ashy legs and no T-shirts and blinding people, but now he's rocking a T-shirt full of pops.
And I'm home, baby. I'm home right now.
Now he's home in his man cave, asking Sharon, "Where's the meatloaf?" The meatloaf!
Mom, the meatloaf!
Is it kosher? Anyhow, Doc, let me ask you this before we get to TaTOYine. When Rey jumped from the forest to the Death Star,
was that clever editing, or was that?
Just thought of something, man.
What?
You know, I don't mean to stop our flow, but I just thought of something. I cannot get this off of my fucking mind. When Rey jumped, it's fucking
never gets old. You know what doesn't get old? Playing with toys. And now it's time for TaTOYine. 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 TaTOYine.
TaTOYine.
So I just made it in time home so we could do TaTOYine. This week, we're going to look at two different things.
Was that the gimmick? Was that the gimmick? That's the Iggy that you gave to your wife? Come on, I got to go home and play with my toys.
Exactly.
Gosh.
She's all right without the Iggy. She gets the Iggy on a regular basis, so we're all good.
You have kids.
Exactly. Plenty. So, one thing.
Feeling better?
The kids are feeling better this week, thank God. My daughter's crying right now, but she'll be all right in a second once she finds her pacifier. So we're going to do a few things this week. One thing I got like literally yesterday, and the other was something that's been brewing in my collection and I've been looking for the last 20-something years. So we'll chat about that in a bit. But the first thing, got it from HasbroPulse.com. It's the vintage collection, which is again on the old school cards, which is a throwback to the old school 77, 80, 83 cards that we saw when we all three were kids. It's the Jawa, a little bit different than the original Jawa. The original Jawa came in, it was super small figure. It came in either two different capes. One was the vinyl cape, that was the brown plastic cape that's insanely rare. The more common version is in the brown cloth cape. I have the brown cloth cape. I have a reproduction of the brown vinyl cape because those are insanely expensive for a small little piece of vinyl that I refuse to pay for. Yes.
How can you tell that the vinyl cape is
So there's a website called the Imperial Gunnery, which basically gives you the breakdown of how to identify a repro from an original, and it is insanely detailed. I mean, they literally have things down to the nubbin, which some weapons come with this little nubbin that sits on them where they were cut off when they were actually made. So the Imperial Gunnery really gives you a breakdown of how to look at something and see what it is. Most eBay sellers, the majority of them that are actually reputable, will tell you that you're buying a reproduction weapon, you're buying a reproduction cape, because they don't want to get into the eBay, the litigious eBay section that you drop into when you sell something that is actually fraudulent. I bought a cape recently, cost like $3 or $4 for my vinyl cape for my Jawa, just because I wanted to have one as a placeholder. But I very much so doubt that I'm actually going to get a legitimate one. But the good thing about this new Jawa is that it doesn't have a vinyl and or cloth cape. The whole thing is plastic. So as you can see, I'll bring it up to there. It's 100% plastic. There's no cloth cape, no vinyl cape. It is a plastic from top to bottom. It comes with a hand cannon that we've seen the Jawas use. It also comes with a blaster that I guess potentially they could use. Under the cape, there is actually molding. You can see the legs and the waist and the crotch of the Jawa there. But the top portion is the bandolier. He's got 2 bandoliers. He's got the eyes. In the past, in the Power of the Force wave, the Jawas actually had this kind of clear space on the top of their hoods, where if the light shone through, the eyes would actually light up. They've gotten away from that in the new vintage series collection. Yeah, whatever. It was kind of like a little bit of a gimmick, so you could have their eyes light up. This show is cool. It comes in the original card. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. It's a like I said, anything that's throwback to the 70s, to the 80s, 83, I'm already hooked. It's pretty cool. $12.99, HasbroPulse.com. If you remember, free shipping. If not, you're stuck on the hook for like $8. Hasn't hit the stores yet, but I got that from Hasbro Pulse. Now this is a different thing. This is a Star Wars Power of the Force reissue, classic edition 4-pack. Basically, this came out in '95 when they were re-releasing. When they were started a whole new wave and a whole new section of Star Wars figures, the Power of the Force. We had a big buff Luke Skywalker, a big buff Han Solo. They looked nothing like they should have actually looked in the movie and in the toys. Why they went that way, I have no idea. Luckily enough, they lasted only a few waves before they decided to say, "Hey, let's scale them back to what actually look like and not have this jacked up Luke Skywalker for no reason."
It was the 90s. They all had big shoulder pads, pouches, big Zippo lighter guns. It was the Liefeld. It was the Liefeld. Yeah, Liefeld, McFarlane, Jim Lee, fucking influenced Impact comic era. Come on.
That was the issue. So luckily enough, only after maybe they released that Luke and Han like 2 or 3 times did they say, this doesn't make any sense. Let's scale them back to what they normally look like, which thank God they did, because then there they are. Actually still display my original Power of the Force, Luke and Han, who have like the fucking Scott Norton look to them. They're all jacked the fuck up, like barrel-chested. It's ridiculous. I don't know.
Good dude, Scott Norton. Shout out to my boy Scott.
He is. He's a good dude. So these were re-released from the original Star Wars figures from the 70s. They did this kind of commemorative pack cast from the original figures. There's certain things that are different about them than there were from the original figures. So you don't get, sold a bill of goods where you're getting one of these where someone tells you it's the original. What it is, I actually don't know, because I haven't opened these. I haven't compared them to the originals, but there's kind of certain differences. I'm sure it's the stamp date in the back of them is 95 versus 77, but they re-released 4 figures in this line, one big commemorative set. And you know what? Between you and I, when I was buying these back in 95, I actually didn't buy these because I was like, fuck it, I don't want these 77 figures. They look terrible. And then I had to scramble literally this past year to get this set because I was like, The nostalgia is killing me. I want to go back and get this. And I did.
What's it run you?
I think I paid $30-$40 for this from.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
decent. Yeah, it's pretty decent. From one of my reputable sellers on Instagram, This and That Toys. Gina, thank you again. She's fantastic. Comes to Luke. He has his telescoping lightsaber, the one that comes in and out of his hand, like the classic ones do. The later ones actually.
Hold on, wait. Her name is Gina.
Yes.
So she's Tony Montana's sister, Gina.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
She is, and her uterus is not polluted, so she can.
Well played.
You're welcome. Han Solo has the small Han Solo head because they had another Han Solo that had a large Han
I
Solo
remember
head.
that.
The blaster is a little bit different than the original blaster. They got Chewbacca inside there with his bowcaster, and they got Darth Vader.
Chipucas.
They got Darth Vader with his vinyl cape and his also telescoping lightsaber as well. They made the lightsabers look like they were double telescoping because the double telescoping lightsabers are the very, very super duper rare figures, but these are not double telescoping. They are look thick at the end and are a little thin towards the tip. That's what she said. So they look like double telescoping, but they're actually not. They come with 4 cards that Topps had made, Wide Vision cards. It was a pretty cool set. I didn't get it back then because I didn't appreciate the fact that the original series were actually really awesome. But I went back, got them. Like I said, I think I paid somewhere $30, maybe $40 for this. It was a pretty decent deal. Because at this point in my life, I'm really appreciating the original. You flip on the back, you can actually see the buff Luke Skywalker. You can see
Oh
the
shit!
buff
I see them.
You can see the buff Stormtrooper. Doesn't make any sense.
Vader too, right?
Yeah, Vader was also really
Looks fucking
diesel.
wide there.
Leia had like double D boobs over there, and they actually called this Leia Monkey Leia because her face looked like a actual monkey. So,
Could we get a close up? Kind of hard to see, but
Monkey
see the
Leia.
fucking boobs, though, yeah.
I'll post photos on the NFO chat of Monkey Leia. Special limited edition to commemorate the rich history of Star Wars film series. Kenner presents the classic edition 4-pack in a strictly limited release. 4 of the most popular characters have been produced from molds cast directly from the original Kenner action figures, dating to the late 70s and early 80s. The special edition comes as a new era for Star Wars toys. Is proudly unveiled. Look for all the new line of Kenner action figures and vehicles that capture the detail, authenticity, and excitement of the epic Star Wars tradition. And that's what they did. This was the first line of figures they put out. It was Stormtroopers, Vader, Solo, Skywalker, Chewbacca, R2, Kenobi, C-3PO, and Leia Organa. That was the first one that came out. My mom had given me a few for my birthday. She gave me R2 and 3PO and set me on this fucking spiral that's cost me tens of thousands of dollars that I still sit right now with all the shit that I have behind me and in storage. Thank you, Mom. I love you very much. And that's the classic edition 4-pack for TaTOYine this week, boys.
Nice.
Very nice. Well, Doc, you did it again. You enlightened everybody. Never fail to disappoint. Whether you're hammered at a bar mitzvah somewhere or a holiday party or you're running around in bicycle shorts and no t-shirt, you always get the job done. So thank you very much.
Anytime, boys.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been grand. It's been peachy. Next time you hear from us will be in a couple of days when we do giant size annual edition of the Mandomania show, covering chapter 5 and 6. Until then, may you all buy more NFO t-shirts by going to newforceorder@yahoo.com. And just count down the seconds, the days, the minutes, the hours till episode 9 comes out. We're 9 days away, guys. 9 days before the end of the saga. No more Sega. Sega will be gone. That's what George Lucas says. The Sega. Anyhow, let them know where they can find you guys at.
You can find me at Dr._Destroyer, DESTRROYO on the Instagrams, Facebook Alex Arroyo, and Twitter Alex Arroyo MD.
And you can find me on Instagram, Spiro_A, also at Darth_Spiridon, Handsome Reaper on Twitter, and my Gmail is handsomereaper@gmail.com. Send me your love mail, but most importantly, send me your hate mail.
You can find me at Greek God Papadon on Twitter, Greek God Papadon on Instagram, Demetrius Papadon on Facebook. Greek God Papadon is the YouTube channel. You can see my matches, my promos. Pro Wrestling Tees / Greek God Papadon is my Pro Wrestling Tees store where you can buy t-shirts with my likeness on it. The best wrestling t-shirts around, period. Now, you can find me tomorrow 6:15 on Twitch doing the Conspiracy Horseman podcast alongside my brothers Ben Hammond, Big Sal Graziano, and Stevie Richards. You can find the three of us at NFO_podcast on Twitter, New Force Order on Instagram, official New Force Order on Facebook, www.newforceorder.com is the website. If you can't get the podcast or the show, oh, poor baby. If you can't get the podcast or the show, go to the website. You can actually listen to the podcast and watch the YouTube show right off the website. So if you don't have the accessibility to get a podcast going because you just don't know how to use it or because you just don't have the means to, just Google newforceorder.com and listen to it through there. You can get our t-shirts at newforceorder@yahoo.com. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, it's late. I'm tired. I'm fading fast. I'm going down quicker than Doc at an NSYNC concert. But most importantly, it has been a grand old time talking about a galaxy far, far away. Thank you for your ears. Thank you for your time. It has been a fantastic 9th day. Now we're counting down T-minus 8 days and counting to episode 9.
Single digits, baby.
Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait. But thank you for joining us. We look forward to hearing from each and every one of you guys regarding Star Wars. This has been another fantastic edition of the New Force Order.
For life.
And that's just too sweet.
Henceforth, execute Order NFO.
I was a terror since the public school era. Bathroom passes, cutting classes, squeezing asses. Smoking blunts was a daily routine since 13. A chubby nigga on the scene. I used to have the tray deuce and the deuce in my bubble goose. Now I got the Mac in my knapsack, lounging black, smoking sacks up in action sidekicks with my sidekicks, rocking fly kicks. Honeys wanna chat, but all we wanna know is where the party at. And can I bring my gat? If not, I hope I don't get shot. Better throw my vest on my chest, cause niggas is a mess. It don't take nothing but frontin' for me to start something. Bucking and bucking at niggas like I was duck hunting. Dumbing out just me and my crew, cause all we wanna do is bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit. It's the NOGORIOUS. You just lay down slow. It's the NOGORIOUS. You just lay down slow. Bitches in the back looking righteous. In a tight dress, I think I might just hit her with a little Biggie 101. How to tote a gun and have fun with Jamaican rum conversation. Blunts in rotation, my man Big John got the Glock in his waist and we're smoking, drinking. Got the hooker thinking, if money smell bad, then this nigga Big is stinking. Is it my charm? I got the hookers eating out my palm. She grabbed my arm and said, let's leave calm. I'm hitting skins again. Rolled up another blunt for the Heineken. Niggas thought the rope out, a kid got choked out, blows were stoned, and a fucking fight broke out. Can we could put hickeys on her chest like little Sean. Get a pissy drunk off a Dom Perignon. And it's on, and I'm gone. That's